Hello, everyone. My name is Chimoge. Welcome to Chimoge's Comments, and today I want to talk about the Manosphere. This is a video I wanted to make for a long time. Basically, I want to say the Manosphere is evil, should be destroyed. I hate that it exists. I hate that it's in my attention. What are you doing? Nene, Nene, Nene. Wait a minute. What? Okay, good. Like what? No. Okay, I have to explain. If you don't know, you have a good life. But the Manosphere, basically, what is the Manosphere? First of all, really, the Manosphere isn't anything. It's just a bunch of woman haters online who call themselves the Manosphere, spout some particular, like, just weird, hateful rhetoric about women, and call themselves the Manosphere. But when you break it down, like on a philosophical level, you can't draw a hard boundary between who is and who isn't Manosphere. It's just people with certain traits tend to get labeled Manosphere. Okay, I'll get into that in a bit, right? But the basic thing is you just hate women. That's the center of your life, and you're a man. Nene, what? You're a man. You wake up every day and you say, "My biggest problem is women." What? Just what? No, really, what? Like, really, go back to sleep. Don't wake up. If you're a man and that's what you... No. The world is already crap. The average man is already crap. And then these just pieces of crap. Not like you have crap. Not pieces, there's sewage. You have crap in their sewage. The average man is crap. These Manosphere men are sewage. Then sewage just rising out of the gutter, polluting it even more. Nene. The average man has no direction in his life. He doesn't treat women properly. He's not himself. He buys into stupid gender ideas. Already terrible. Makes it bad for, like, the good men out there. And just to make it clear, I'm not saying that women are overall better. That's complicated. But I'm just saying, we just look at the men. See the average man walking. Just look at him. Do you think he's good? Do you think he's well? No. He's a disgrace. He needs a lot of help. Someone needs to whip him into shape. And then we have this sewage. These people who should not even exist coming out and making the average man worse. What? The image of the average man is already low because the average man is low. And then you have these just creatures coming out of nowhere, spouting just crazy things about women, crazy things about gender, crazy things about the world, doing crazy things. I eliminated a dozen people because I don't get women. What? Nene. Like, really? No. The last thing we needed. So, I'm getting ahead of myself a bit, but anyway, just to describe what the Manosphere is again. These men come together. They call themselves the Manosphere, even though philosophically you can't say objectively, like, who is and isn't Manosphere if you draw the line. The same way philosophically you can't say who is and isn't a Christian, right? Like, for example, I was born Catholic. I was baptized. I went to Catholic school my whole life. Now I never do any Catholic anything. I don't identify with it. So would you call me a Catholic? Technically, by some metric, you could. How do you objectively draw a line between me and other Catholics? Right? They're Catholics who delete people. They go to church every week. That breaks the fifth commandment. I've never deleted a person. So in a way, you could say I'm more Catholic than that person. Right? So anyway, that's just an example, but it's the same thing with the man. Any of these ideologies, like, if you just have these things on your head, I'm Manosphere. I'm. What other nonsense do people say? I'm a conservative. What are you talking about? Nene, it's nonsense. Stop. But anyway, back to these Manosphere people. So we need to go to the origin, right? So the big question is, where did these pieces of sewage, just things that should not exist, that block my ears with nonsense, that pollute the world, people that really just need to go to sleep, okay? Really need to go to sleep while someone fixes them. really just need to shut up forever. Because when you're sewage, everything you speak will be crap. Like they don't have mouths. I say they just have buttholes. They have two buttholes. One where it should be and one where it shouldn't be. But anyway, so anyway, we gotta know, where did this sewage come from? Where did this sewage come from? I'm gonna talk about the origin, and some of it you can see here, up in my props for today. But there's one thing that is on nobody's radar, and I learned about this from talking to my ancestors, my spiritual team, because they get me some spiritual insight. And basically, most Manosphere content creators, right? Because again, I'm just calling them Manosphere for convenience, because as I said, it's not really anything. It's just a bunch of idiots online. Just a bunch of idiots that have gone past being idiots that are just no, they're beyond scum. They're savages, but they're savages that shouldn't be savages. Okay, so that's the worst kind of savage, right? There's certain animals that are created, you should be savage, but human beings should not be savage, right? And I'm using the term human being loose. Well, let me say people, because most of these Manosphere people are not black. The term human being only refers to black people. Really. White people and others are not human beings. That's not to say that inherently they're without worth. It just that obviously they do a lot of things that diminish their value. But they're not human beings. But anyway, people are not created to be savages. So if you're a person, you're a savage. You're a savage that should not be a savage, and really, you're a waste of life. But anyway, talk about the origins of this. You see, human beings reincarnate, or people. See, I slipped up. How did they run that propaganda to say that every person's a human? Nene, when you look into the right word for all beings like us that we call people really is gods. Let's not get into that. I'm just gonna say people right now because I'm talking about so much nonsense. I don't want you to get distracted. But anyway, so people reincarnate, right? But karma follows you throughout your different lives, through your life and into your future lives, right? So if you do certain bad things, the karma from that will follow you into your future life. So the worst thing you can do is delete another human being. That is the worst thing you can do. Delete another human being. Um, really delete human being, period. But let's not get into that. Let's just for now just say delete another human being, right? So if you delete another human being, there is so much um badness in you that the biggest things in the universe, right? Because they're just things. The biggest category of things, you can just call them things, and I'm still learning more about those. I'm gonna talk about those in future videos. It might be a while, because I got more pressing concerns. Because people don't even know how to poop properly. So how am I gonna start talking about like in depth about the biggest things in the universe when people don't know how to poop properly? There's a lot of work that needs to be done on this planet. But anyway, the biggest things in the universe need to punish you, and they need to send you to hell. He double hockey sticks, right? To get the evil out of you, because that's a real thing, right? Um, but it's really when you delete another human being, you violated the laws of matter, right? And matter is one of the feminine things in the universe, right? My language, which is currently called Igbo, even though it shouldn't be called Igbo, but let's leave that alone for now. We call her Allah. People think it means land. It's much deep. It means matter now. What maybe it's hey. Oh. Chai, ni hem maybe it's kwanda. Hey. Okay. I'm sorry. There's just so many bad things going on in the world. Like there's just so many bad things. But let me focus. So anyway, when you've offended matter, who's a feminine force of the universe, all the feminine forces of the universes will punish you especially hard for that. The masculine ones will too, but the feminine ones will really get you. And really, what should happen? Chai. See, this guy knows I'm about to destroy him, so he's running. See, another thing about these Manosphere men is they're very cowardly. They're not really men; they're really males. I'm gonna call them males for the rest of this video. If you do this stuff, you're not a man; you're just a male. Chai. Let's just Give me a second to adjust my tape, please. Bear with me as I adjust my tape. As these prisoners, and you'll see why I call them that, try to escape. So anyway, as I adjust my tape, let me talk. So anyway, what should happen when you delete someone, and don't repent before you pass away, because you can repent before a certain point. It kind of varies from person to person, but generally for the average person, you can delete 5 people and repent in your lifetime, even though you shouldn't be doing it. And I'm going to go into the future. There is no need to ever delete another human life. This concept of deleting people in self-defense, stupidity. You don't need to look up non-lethal self-defense weapons and then come back to me. But anyway, so what should happen after you delete another person? Well, first you shouldn't delete another. Like nene, unune bumadu, nene, unune bumadu. But anyway, if you commit the ultimate sin and you delete another person, what should happen is you accept your punishment. You accept that the feminine force of the universe beat you up to beat some evil out of you, and then you go to the fire pit. That's what I'll just call it. Terms of service for certain platforms. Shout out to the platforms. You go to the fire pit. More evil gets beaten out of you. Eventually, you come out. You get therapy, and then you reincarnate again as a new person with a clean slate. Right? That's what should happen. But stupid spirits avoid the punishment. They run and they reincarnate again against the will of the universe. When you do this, you're a person who shouldn't exist. You're what's known as a prisoner, right? You're a prisoner because your life is a prison. Because the past life karma is so bad that your life is in shackles. You don't have what you should have, right? And I'm going to go into that concept in depth more later, but this is just enough for you to get it. But anyway, if you're a prisoner who, um, you know, committed the sin of deleting another human life and didn't repent, you come back hating women. And that's because when those feminine forces of the universe hit you, if you were immature enough not to take the punishment and reform, you will resent those feminine forces and femininity in general for what they did to you, even though they should do it. So when you come back, you hate more feminine human beings. That means you hate women. So because you really should not delete another human being, but because the world is broken and so much human deletion happens, and because men tend to delete people more than women for many complex reasons, you have a large minority of men who reincarnated, who should not exist, who deleted people in their past lives, did not repent, and now hate women, right? So that is really the core of the manosphere, right? People who do that. But then there's other things that make it what it is, right? Because not all of these males, because I'm slipping up. If you're this kind of person, you're not a man, you're a male. Not all of these male prisoners, are in the manosphere. But the other things that created the manosphere is one, white supremacy. I talked about white people before, I'll talk about them again. White people, long story short, very, very bad. Very, very bad. When you look into their history, basically nothing good about them. Um, Very, very bad. And in their badness, they fight among themselves. Okay, they're savages. They fight among themselves. So you have again, it's very complicated, and the way they describe themselves is nonsense too. And I'll go into that. Like, white people, what is wrong with you, Chai? Hey, hey, like, Nene, Nene, you were created good, but you just do so much bad. Nene, what? But anyway, so anyway, in modern times, the two biggest political factions of white people, and really I'm just gonna call them political factions. Really, it's really they're tribes that are not really tribes. It's very complicated because white people are very stupid. But let me just call them political factions because I think more of you are familiar with that terminology. But the two most common political factions of white people are right wing and left wing. So right wing white people tend to be called white supremacists, even though they're all white supremacists. So it's stupid. But white supremacists, right wing white nationalists, were on the rise in the really late 90s, early 2000s. And one offshoot of that movement was the men's rights movement, right? And well, um, let's just say let's say men's right act. It's kind of complicated because there's a lot of men's rights activists who were not part of the right wing. They actually started left wing, and then these right wingers gone in. But let's just call them men's rights activists because the terms for all these things get all jumbled up, which makes it harder to look at. But for now, let's just call them men's rights activists. So the men's rights activists was an offshoot of the right wing white supremacist movement. And basically, if you don't know, right wing white supremacists just want to create countries of white people only in the West, right? That's basically their goal, right? And specifically white people from their political faction, especially, right? And get rid of all non-whites. There's a faction of them that said, "Hey, we don't like how men are being treated in the society." So they're basically the male version of feminists, right? Basically, and I'm vastly oversimplifying that just to get to the point here. So those men's rights people, they had many different factions, but then there were certain people who were just like, instead of let's just reform the gender structures, let's just talk about how we hate women, basically. And they trying to cover it up as by saying, oh, women are the cause of all the problems. We need to go back to patriarchy, just even more hateful of women. But really, they're just, let's talk about how we hate women. But a lot of these people were really not about doing much. They were just talking online. They're lonely. They're in their mother's basement, all this type of thing. And that's basically how the Manosphere formed. Those white men started it, and then some sellouts from other races joined them. So you have a lot of Manosphere men from other races. There's a contingent of Black Manosphere people. You have a large contingent of Asian Manosphere men. You have them of all races. They're mostly white, even though studies have shown that for the West they're disproportionately non-white. They're still mostly white, and it's in the West, so it's whiter than the rest of the globe. So, and the ideology is just so white, but it's white with a hint of just extra evil, just pure woman hate. Okay, so that's the Manosphere. So that was another origin, and then other things I would call the origin, because the two big ones is that white supremacy, and then the prisoners, right? The spawn of he double hockey sticks, the people who should not exist, who just hate women because of their past life karma, right? So that's it. Then other things that contributed to it is that a lot of these men in the manosphere are they are what people tend to call spiritually gifted. We really should call them leaders. In my language, we should call them dueze. Now you might say ndieze, because in our language to say people we say ndi, but we really should be saying ndu, and ndi should be referred to spirits. But let's not get it like there's so many. How do you people exist? I'm just trying to talk, and I see a million things that are wrong, but I have to focus on these ones right now. But anyway, anyway. So other things that contribute is that these manosphere men are spiritually gifted. Right term should be the leaders, right? I'll go into that concept later, but let's just say spiritually gifted for now. And spiritually gifted people tend to have brains that work different and from the average person. And what that can mean if they're not properly socialized or they have past problems is they can have trouble connecting with people socially. So if they have trouble connecting with people socially, then they're not going to get a lot of women. And then also a lot of them have mental illnesses as well. So then if you have mental illnesses, you're also going to have trouble connecting with people socially. You're not going to get women. So all sorts of stuff like that. Basically, these people hate women. They don't get them. If they get them, they're not satisfied with them. And then they just say crazy things online. So I think you guys got the base. In the future, I'll do more videos going in real depth. I'll do some live streams going in real depth on the Manosphere. But you got the basis. You got the basis. So anyway, why is it evil? Well, first of all, if you know what it is, you don't know why it's evil. Look in the mirror. Look at like nene. What? It's obvious. A bunch of men just online talking about how women are and they just say stupid things. Because basically the manosphere is evil because it just spreads hatred of women and white supremacy. That is it. That is it in a nutshell. It's a disgrace. It should not exist. Most of the men in the manosphere should not exist. They should have just eaten their punishment in the fireplace. But they crawled into this world like pests. When you look at my ancestors told me that if you look at the true etymology of the word pest, it refers to these kind of people. People should have eaten their punishment in the world of spirits and didn't and crawled back and caused problems. They cause problems, right? So they just talk all this nonsense. They pollute the gender dialogue, which was already crap, but now it is sewage because you have people talking about things like a high value man. I'm a high value man. I make six figures. I make six figures. What else is it? What else is a high value man? You make six figures. Other men like you, therefore you're high. Isn't that cool? What are you talking about? What? Nonsense. Therefore, women should like me. Nini. What? What? It doesn't make any sense. And it's just like one of these. It's like going into detail about the manosphere. It's like going into detail about stuff you find in a landfill. It'll just fill your brain with disgusting stuff. Like Nene, what is going and all these stupid terms they use, like what's they? I'm even forget because it's so stupid. My brain's not allowing me to remember. It's so stupid. My brain is not allowing me to. So anyway, they just talk hateful stuff about women. They first got attention when that dude. I don't want to mention his name, but I guess I have it. Elliot Roger. Ooh, because if you don't know, if you talk about an evil person who's passed away, they will bring you demons and evil energy. So I don't want to talk about it. So please, poor, get away, get away. I rebuke him. I rebuke him. And everyone like him. But that guy, he deleted a group of people before he deleted himself. That was the first time they got mainstream acceptance. This was the first time I ever heard of him. Some other people did similar things. They got famous. But then really what took them off was that waste of human life known as Kevin Samuels. He came up, he popularized this high value men terminology, came on insulting women. He asked a woman came to him for advice in public. He told her, what did he tell her? Your average at best? Nene. Arella! That means abomination in my language. You could also call it scum behavior. You don't, as a man, you don't insult a woman. For in general, why insult people like that? But especially when a man insults a woman, Nene, you're not a man, you're just a male. You're just a male. I do have to also mention the red pill. This is the thing they said. Oh, when you get red pill, then you see the truth about women nature. Red pill, it's just just a nonsense, nerdy way because they got the idea from the Matrix. It's a nonsense, nerdy way of saying I hate women. I think women are the cause of all the problems in the universe. Nene. And it's hard to see exactly who started using it like that. But this guy I have pictured here, named Rollo Tomasi. Um, Wrote a book called like the Rational Male, where he talked about a lot of people credit him as the founder, but when I look into it, it looks like some other people were involved in creating that mess. But that's something else. Um so yeah, anyway, just I hate the manosphere. I hate those people. They make life harder. They make life harder. If first of all, just the hatred of women they speak like nah, life is hard enough. And especially hatred of black, because it's again white supremacy. Hate black people more. If you hate black people the most, you hate women the most. You will hate black women the most. But what the thing they say, nah, the things they say about black women are the butt of everything. You have those idiots fresh in feet talking about we're not night riders. We go right into the night and never come back. Please, try. So just, I'm even getting this. There's just so many horrible things about these people. I don't believe in boxing, but if I did, I would get them all in the boxing ring and beat them all up. Terrible. But anyway, so they spread hatred of women, black women especially. Terrible. Life is already hard enough. We're being oppressed. Black women are being oppressed. You just want to come talking nonsense, especially the black manosphere. Yeah, sorry about the cut, guys. The ghost of Kevin Samuels came, turned off my phone, but I did some manifestations. I sent him back from where he came. But anyway, as soon as I mentioned the black manosphere, you know, the scum that associates with them and it was part of them when they were alive comes to sabotage me. You see, I'm under spiritual attack from these people. But anyway, I was talking about how the black manosphere. First of all, the whole manosphere promotes hatred of women, right? But the black manosphere, to try and look pro-black weirdly, talks a lot about black women. And to be fair, maybe the white manosphere talks as much about black women specifically. They certainly talk down on them the most when they talk about them. But this stuff, even for me, because I'm a guy who can look at harsh stuff. But when I see the manosphere, I just have to turn it. It's like, Nini, what is this? What is this? It's like you go to a restaurant to eat and someone just serves you sewage. Like you're gonna walk away off this on now fast. But anyway, the black manosphere, they target black women especially, talk down on them. What is this? Not what we just saying nonsense. Like my brain won't even remember it because if something is too stupid, if you bother saying it, thinking about it, it will literally make you sick. So I'm even limited in how much I can talk about this manosphere because it's that stupid. It's that stupid. I'm gonna push through and do it in my live stream I do in the future. But for now, I'm just letting you know the basics. The manosphere is evil. Let's even get to the point. What do we do with these horrible people? What do we do with Rollo Tomasi and his spawn? What do we do with all this? Because another effect is society is on edge. All of society, even white people, because they're deleting people. People debate, oh, is the manosphere really violent? The core of these people is people who deleted people in the past life and didn't repent. You don't think they'll do it again? And look, so many of the mass shooters have connections to this thing. At least the way of thinking, right? Because you have the content creators and the people who consume the content, right? To my knowledge, most of the people who go out and delete people in large groups are people who consume the content. See, society's on edge. I mentioned the manosphere too much. Society wants to fall away, and society is falling away because of these men. They're very dangerous. But anyway, they put society on edge. They spread racist hatred. They spread gender hatred. They make people sick. Literally, spreading bad ideas makes people sick. It gives people demons, and that's the main cause of illness. Um, I'll I'll um I'll go into that in a future video. But it's just bad. This makes everything worse. It just should not exist. So what's the point of this? Basically, if you're not part of the manosphere, just don't look at it. Don't look at it. Right? There's a certain small group of people that need to look at it to monitor it. People like me who look at horrible things to monitor it. Think of us as like, security guards or I guess soldiers on the wall who are looking to see if the savages are coming. We'll look at the savage. The rest of you don't look at this savagery. Don't look at this savage. And in the future, I'll go into how to avoid it. But anytime you see someone who's manosphere, you see a manosphere content creator online, avoid. And if you see them in person, if a man ever comes up to you and says, I'm a high value man, run. Run. He probably deleted someone in the past life, didn't repent, and he will delete your spirit. So, and other men as well. You don't want to associate with that filth. See men who associate with that filth. You're not a man, you're a male. You're a male! And anyone who is just a male and not a man is a waste of human life. But anyway, so just avoid it and then do things to kill it, right? The biggest thing to kill it is one, get rid of all this deletion of human beings. Um, get rid of all this deletion of human beings. And two, another big thing is if someone deleted a human being, didn't repent, don't bury them. Do not bury them, because that gives them a way to come back. If you don't bury someone who did that, they can't come back. They have to go straight to the reform place. And then also, let's just get rid of white supremacy and racism in general, please. That's part of the root of this. And if you are part of the manosphere, either as a content creator or first of all, if you're a manosphere content creator, just delete all your accounts and shut up forever. You're not meant to speak. Chances are you're probably not even meant to exist. Okay? Because you have things you didn't repent for. Go look if you can repent. If you did so much you can't repent, just 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 be quiet and wait for your karma to hit you and don't harm other people, right? And if you consume the content, have a look in the mirror. Repent for what you need to repent for. And if you're one of the minority who really loves the content, but you didn't delete someone in the past, like really have a look in the mirror. Why are you around sewage? Why do you love sewage so much? Why do you love the worst people in existence so much? Have a look. And anyway, to all my fellow males out there, people who are male rather, be a man, not just a male. Because all men, well, okay, not all men are male. Not all men are male. I'm sorry. to all my let me just say to all my people who are male, right? Well, gender stuff is very complicated. Let's say to all my male men out there. Let's say to all my male men out there, please make sure you are also a man and not just a male. Don't do this, man. But anyway, um, again, I'm Chimoge. This is Chimoge's comments. Bottom line: the Manosphere is evil. Avoid it. Destroy it. All Manosphere people are evil. So get rid of them. Avoid them, and go to my about section to check things out. See you next time. Peace.